Hey guys, it's Cerulean and Jake bringing to you the next episode of Fire Emblem Engage.
Thank you for helping with my mother's funeral.
It was the final service we could provide Queen Lumera as stewards.
I can't believe she's gone.
Come on, Fram. Think how hard this must be on the Divine Dragon. We gotta hold it together.
I'm trying, but...
Lumera. I never thought our paths would diverge so soon.
Nor I. And to leave a child behind, I did that in death. A bitter memory. I vow to protect your offspring in your absence, Lumera.
If we could grant our power now.
Marth, you know that's not possible without the other emblems here.
Yes, I know. This is awful. Sorry I couldn't have done something.
No, Prince Alfred. Without you, our losses may have been even greater. Though I must ask, why did you come? Was there something you needed?
Our kingdom is in danger. My mother sent me to ask Queen Lumera for help. All over Firene, our people are being attacked by these creatures.
Creatures? What kind of creatures?
These things are like people, but cracked, almost crumbling.
The corrupted.
Oh, so that's what you call them.
Yes. Corpses brought back to life.
No wonder they wouldn't listen to us. They just keep attacking everything. We sent our knights out to hold them off, but it's a losing battle. My kingdom is being destroyed. Divine One, will you help us? Please, come with me to Firene.
Me? What can I do? It was my mother's help you wanted, not mine.
Queen Lumera is gone. You're the last Divine Dragon. We need the power of the rings to save Firene. And only you can do that. Sorry, I don't mean to press the topic. I'll return to Firene. We'll do what we can.
I'm coming with you.
You will?
I don't want more families to be torn apart. More people to suffer. Even if I'm scared, I have to push through my fear. Now that my mother is gone, it's my duty to step into the role of Divine Dragon. And if each kingdom is protecting rings, I take it Firene has one, correct?
That's right.
Then I need to go there anyway, to honor my mother's request. She asked me to gather all of the rings and bring peace back to Helios. As the Divine Dragon, I officially accept the Kingdom of Firene's request for aid.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Divine One.
Happy to help, Prince Alfred.
Just Alfred is fine. I've been visiting you at the Somniel since I was a boy. I think of you as an old friend. A very, very old friend.
I appreciate that. Actually, I can't remember anything from before I fell asleep.
Nothing?
This world is new to me. I appreciate having friends who can teach me about it.
I'll do my best. Can't say I'll know much compared to Queen Lumera, but I'll try.
Thank you, Alfred.
As a character, I end up really liking Alfred in the main story. I think that he does exactly what he needs to do and ends up being a very close friend to us. That said, I feel like the support conversations sort of assassinate his character. Yes, sometimes he'll have some discussions relating to the fact that he's a prince, but it seems like he just drones on and on about gaining muscles. And he just does really stupid things, and I feel like they wrote that in an effort to give him some charm, allow him to do something, non-princely, make it kind of funny, and make him human. I understand that not every prince-type character needs to be the absorbed into his duties type of character, but I feel like they could have gone a different direction, or at the very least, toned it down. So, since I won't be showing too many supports, if any at all, I think we'll end up liking Alfred's character a bit more.
We ought to establish a base of operations before we begin our journey. The Somniel would be uniquely useful.
A little out of the way, isn't it? I can't imagine how we'd get everyone there and back.
As a divine dragon, you can travel there no matter where you are in the world.
I can?
Indeed. Furthermore, one can only enter the Somniel with a divine dragon's power. Without Queen Lumera's blessing, even we stewards couldn't have set foot there. That is what makes it a safe haven.
Well then, yes. Let's use it as our base. But before we depart, can you give me a moment? We'll be gone a while, so I'd like to say goodbye to my mother.
Of course. Take as much time as you need.
Thank you for watching over me all this time. This journey will be a long one. But don't worry. Vander and the others will be right beside me. I will fulfill my duty as the Divine Dragon. I will find all of the rings, just as you asked. And then, I'll return to you, Mother. I promise. Here we are, safely returned to the Somniel. I didn't realize how spacious this place was.
It is rather quiet, I know. But it will liven up as we gain allies. We may need someone to supply us with equipment as well. Something to consider.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Divine One, might this be yours?
A piece of jewelry. I don't recognize it. The crystal looks unusual. Where did you get this?
On the ground in the ring vault after the siege. I thought it might be yours, but apparently I was mistaken. No one has come forward, so it must have belonged to an enemy soldier. I'll dispose of it.
Wait, it's familiar somehow, even though I've never seen it.
Then please, do take it. Perhaps it will help jog your memory.
Thank you, Vander. Once we've rested for a bit, let's set out for Firene.
Welcome to the Somniel. This, as was said, is going to be our base of operation for the rest of the game. There are lots of things that we can do here in the Somniel. Or at least, that's what I would be saying, if they didn't lock it all! Yeah, your first visit to the Somniel isn't going to be all that amazing. There's just not a whole lot to do. But we'll at least cover what we can. The first of which, bond conversations. As I showed you, we were locked at bond level 4 with Marth, and since we are definitely going to want to level him up as much as possible,
Yes.
let's have a quick chat.
It is good that we can talk after I spent so long silently watching over you.
I know what you mean. I'm really glad to have you at my side, supporting me in person.
That was a bond conversation, and you can get all the way from C rank to A rank. The A rank will be a little longer than just 2 lines, but not very long at all. Support conversations are just like that, where you can go from C rank to A rank, and they happen between certain characters. As the Divine Dragon, we can have support all the way up to A rank with every single character in the game, but some characters just aren't as interested in talking with other characters as others. The support conversations definitely are much more in-depth than bond conversations. So again, if you want to hear more about what a character is like, then you should really consider going to a different channel and watching those support conversations. I will not be covering them. So, as you can see on our map, there's a few glowing spots that we should go to. First, we have over here, and we can go and pick up some eggs, milk, and a pretty pebble. All stuff that will be useful later, not right now. Pretty sure there's nothing we can do up that way, so may as well move on. Pretty sure this is locked down as well. Yep. Guess we'll explain that as well later. Don't think we can do this. Oh, we'll get a nice little view of it, but that's pretty much it. Nice little cafe. Lots of stuff we could do here. As if. We can come over here, the bulletin board. We can send donations to various countries. Right now, all we have is Firene. But we have no gold, so not like we can do anything with that. We can also teleport across the Somniel, so that's nice. We can also go here to achievements, and with achievements, we'll be able to pick up bond fragments, something that will be vital later on. So let's go ahead and take what we can get. Don't think we can enter here yet. Yep, that's locked up for now. Get out of the way. Over here, can we actually do all this stuff over here? I didn't really mark down what chapter all this stuff becomes available. So I will be showing, for the most part, what goes on in the Somniel between each chapter. I am not going to be spending all of my time here, and I may end up cutting a bunch of stuff out, because it's actually not all that important. But there are things like growing your characters in a certain direction that I do want to cover. Yes, that said horse manure. Just, you know what? Let's go ahead and show what horse manure does. So you can go around, and as I said, anyone with a blue dialogue text box has something to say pertaining to what's actually going on right now.
Ah.
So what do you have to say, Boucheron? So the Somniel has pawns. Okay, didn't get to read it. You can give gifts to all of the characters, and this will increase your support with them. Boucheron, I'm going to give you a gift that tells you exactly what I think of you.
What?
Don't tell me what to do, Boucheron. Anyway. I believe there's only a few more things. Can I cover this down here, or is that also... I think this is also something that we can't do yet. We do get a lot of bond fragments for coming down here. Yep, nothing we can do with that. And the last thing, we're going to go up here. Grab this. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all we can do here. We can go ahead and hop in our menu. That's the map, not the menu. If we go to references, we can go to support. We can see all the different characters that have a support conversation they need to complete. Just so happens that all of them are with us. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip through all of these. Because you should, even if you don't want to see the supports, you should go ahead and do all of them. You will get bonus stats for standing near characters that you have higher support levels with. So you should realistically max out all the ones you're capable of. So we have a bunch of other stuff that we could be looking at, but don't really need to. I don't think that we can really equip ourselves right now, so that is what it is. You did see that we got a little bit of a gift, and I will be taking advantage of stuff that you might not have. So bear all that in mind when we go into the next chapter. Speaking of, I think we're pretty much done here, so let's depart.
Here we are, the Kingdom of Firene.
What a beautiful place.
Isn't it? And no sign of the corrupted, so that's good. That was quite a trip. Crossing the sea all the way from Lethos. I hope you're not worn out.
I'm fine.
Good, good. Listen, I'm sorry for twisting your arm to come with me.
Alfred, it's all right. I wanted to come. How about before we arrive at the castle, you tell me more about this kingdom of yours?
Happy to. Let's see. Firene is one of the 4 nations of Elios in the southwest. It's ruled by my mother, Queen Ev. We're known as, Land of Plenty. Our people value peace above all else. We haven't seen war for centuries.
You must come from a long line of capable leaders.
That's kind of you to say. Peace doesn't always come easy. Mother had to hammer out a non-aggression pact with our neighbors. The pact says there won't be war between us, Solm, and Brodia.
Right. Solm, the Queendom of Freedom, and Brodia, the Kingdom of Might.
You've got it. Solm is an open-minded country. They've always had good relations with Firene. But an alliance with Brodia took some doing. Their king's an ambitious man. He's always launching attacks on Elusia to expand his own territory.
I take it Elusia isn't in the Alliance.
No. Honestly, they're so far away, we don't interact with them too much. We know it's snowy there, with long winters, and that some Elusians worship the Fell Dragon.
The Fell Dragon?
It's troubling, I know. But people can believe what they believe. Sorry, I didn't bring it up to turn you against Elusia.
It's not them I hate. It's the Fell Dragon. Him and the one who killed my mother. Can you tell me more about the Emblem ring that was entrusted to Firene?
Oh, sure. It's the Ring of the Caring Princess. Doesn't look like anything special. Until I met you and Marth, I thought the emblems were legends. I can't wait to tell my sister they exist. She'll really be knocked for a loop.
You have a sister?
Yeah, the Princess of Firene, Celine. She's at the castle with Mother right now.
Princess Celine. I look forward to meeting her.
Just call her Celine. I'm sure you two will get along great. Here's Flora Milltown. Castle's close now. We'll just cut through here and... Something's off.
What is it?
I think there might be trouble ahead. Oh no.
The corrupted. They're everywhere.
I can't stand to see them overrunning this peaceful town. I have to drive them away. Divine One, will you help me?
Of course.
Danger looms from every side. I fear we will never make it to my brother.
Princess Celine, I beg you to make your retreat. We'll handle this.
More of the fiends might be on the way. Hurry! Louis, Chloe, you can't possibly expect me to.
It is our sworn duty to protect the princess. We will hold the line for you as long as we must.
You have to leave. If you should fall here, who warns Prince Alfred of the invasion to come? I concede the point, but I'll return for you both. Please hold out until then.
Apologies, Chloe. Pains me greatly to separate you from Princess Celine for even a relatively brief amount of time.
Might I say, I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get to see you run off with Her Highness yourself. A knight should never leave his princess's side.
The sooner we win, the sooner that will come to pass. What say you, Chloe? Shall we?
Yes, let's.
Alright, we finally have Preparing for Battle, or otherwise Battle Preps. This is what we experienced Fire Emblem players like to call Turn 0, and it is the most important turn in the map. So, you will often see that Battle Preps might take me some time. So, first thing that we have is unit selection. Now, right now, we don't really have much of a use for this because we can just bring everyone, but you will have a limited amount of characters that you're allowed to bring into the map. So, this is what I meant by use the character and then drop them, or bench them, or however I may have worded it. Eventually, we're not going to be able to use characters. So, fairly quickly, once we get more characters, I'll probably be dropping Vander, maybe Clan. For now, we're going to be using everyone. Yes, even you. Though use might be a strong word. But we do have more than one emblem ring now, so why not take a look at it? We have... let's go down to the one I want to equip it to. Emblem Sigurd. Again, I've made reference to this already. Some people seem to say that Sigurd is actually kind of a subpar emblem ring. I don't get it. I think this emblem ring is amazing, and I think you'll see why soon. But let's go ahead and go over him real quick. So, Emblem Sigurd. He has a lot to offer. To go over his stats, he boosts a few stats. More than 3, actually. So he will boost your defense, dex, and build. Now, defense is good. Dexterity could be better. Build is actually quite good. There's not a whole lot of ways to get extra build. Just getting lucky and leveling it up between level ups. And in that manner, if you're using heavier weapons, you may as well say that getting extra build is basically affording you more speed, which is one of the most important, if not the most important stat in the game. Speaking of important stats, move. Sigurd buffs your move. I think he might be one of the only ones, if not the only one, to do it. And that's incredible. As of right now, he is currently only offering an extra 1 move, and I don't think that that changes. Maybe it goes up to 2 as you improve your bond. But whenever you engage with him, holy crap. Let's take a look at his engage skill. Gallop. Grant +5 move, and if you're a cavalry unit like Alfred, an extra 2. Wow. I mean, that's amazing on anybody, and if you're a cavalry unit, you really benefit from this. I am a huge fan of this emblem, if not for Gallop alone. But he also has more to offer. First up, from the sync skills, we have Canter. This is an incredible skill that you should put on any unit that just has an extra slot. I'll get more into what I mean by that later. Canter is incredible. It allows you to move 2 spaces after acting. Now, in most cases, in most Fire Emblem games, you have something called Canto. Canto only works when you have, I call it a minor action. So basically, if you trade, use an item, or just in general don't really do anything, then you can move after whatever your action was. You'll be able to use the rest of your move. So let's say I went 3 spaces forward, traded with an ally, and then that was all I did. I could finish the rest of my move to get away from wherever I did that trade. Canter works differently. Not only does it work after attacking as well, it is a guaranteed 2 move. So if you move your full move, you still get an extra 2 spaces afterward. This character is all about covering ground, which I really love that mimics his game. I've seen the maps from his original game. I haven't played it myself, but they are huge. I really like that they were able to cover that with Sigurd. Next up, we have Momentum, and Momentum goes really well with the fact that he has a lot of move. You gain more damage for every space that you move forward. So, in other words, I could just walk straight to an enemy, one that's right in front of me, and yeah, I'd get a little bit of damage. Or I can take some really crazy route and walk around, and I'll get so much extra damage. It's a pretty damn good skill. Not necessarily one that you want on everybody, but when you're using Sigurd, it's really nice to have. Finally, we have Headlong Rush, and this one's more like, it's nice when you have it, but it's not like you need to go out of your way to get it. It just means that you can't be frozen in place. That's it. Now we have Override, which is an engage attack, and wow, I love this one. You use this attack to move through a line of adjacent foes. I'm pretty sure this doesn't have a limit, so let's say that your foes... There's two foes that are adjacent to each other. If they're in a straight line, then you can attack them and attack all the way through every single one of them, and they will all take the damage. That's awesome. I love that. But, like I said, I don't think it has a limit, which means even if there's 5 enemies, 6 enemies, you'll just slide right through all of them, end up on the other side, and deal damage to all of them. It's such a good unit. I really, really like Sigurd. I get that his stats leave a little bit to be desired, but whatever. Or the stats that he buffs. Rider's Bane. This is a pretty damn good weapon. It's not quite as good as the Rapier, because it only offers effective against cavalry. But overall, it is a good weapon, and you will end up using it. So, like I said, let's go ahead and equip Emblem Sigurd to Alfred.
Sigurd!
Leave it to me.
Oh, but we're not done. As you saw earlier, we got some free stuff. Emblem rings aren't the only rings in this game. There's also something called bond rings. Bond rings, they bear the spirit of heroes past, but they don't manifest themselves as characters like Marth and Sigurd do. Instead, it's just that their power is sealed within the ring. So, let's grab Etier, for example. If we move over here, we have Marth and Sigurd's bond rings, which we don't have any yet. We'll get to that later. But we did get some special ones. You get this, I'm pretty sure... I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure you get this from linking your Nintendo account. Because if you've linked your Nintendo account and you have played Fire Emblem Heroes, the mobile game, these are the main 3 characters from that game. Linking them is so worth. Even if you don't want to play the game, just download it, play it for long enough that you need to, and then link the game to this, because these are so good. Everything that they offer. Not necessarily the rings, you will eventually end up replacing these, but they offer more that I'll get to in this episode. Just hold on a minute. We have Alphonse, the main lord. He gives HP, strength, and defense, and he is at his max rank, so this is the most that you will ever be able to get from this ring. Unlike the emblem rings, you do not increase your bond with them. Instead, what you do is that you can have a C rank, B rank, A rank, or the maximum S rank. So you want as many S rank rings as you can get, but I mean, it's worth having a ring equipped to everyone no matter what. So I think we want to do Alphonse for Etier because it kind of just fits. Now, alternatively, we could go ahead and use one of the other ones that gives speed. But I think Etie's doing just fine. We'll go ahead and give her Alphonse just to make her stronger. We're going to double down on her strength. Excuse me. Now, something else that you'll notice about Alphonse is that since he is an S-rank ring, he is offering a bonus skill. So he has Spur Attack. You gain, or it grants +2 attack to adjacent allies. These 3 rings are very nice for offering these extra skills because they are all supportive bonuses. So Spur, if you see the word Spur, then that means you need to be standing next to them to gain it. If you see Fortify, then that means that you gain it at the start of the turn if you're standing adjacent, and then you can move away and keep the buff. So, we'll go ahead and put Alphonse on Etier. Fram, I feel, is going to be starting the turn next to a lot of people. So, while I don't necessarily intend to use her as a combat unit, I think it would be nice to have her fortifying people. And then next, let's go with Clan. He's the one I've been using the most. We'll go ahead and give him a little more speed, a little more res, a little more HP. Let's be honest, I'm mainly doing this for spur res. And then we have the inventory. I promise you, I'm not going to be talking as much as we move on through the game. There's going to be a lot less to cover. So this is where we can organize our inventories and move around items. As you see, Jake has 2 vulneraries. Really, he doesn't need that, so we can trade it over to somebody who does need a vulnerary, which we don't really have anyone like that. So in this case, we're going to just put it away into our storage. Next up, again, we're going to go to manage items. I did mention how good of a sword Liberation is, right? Well, if you've linked your Nintendo account between the 2 games, there's a better one, and it's Folkvanger. This sword is amazing. Now, it has, I think it's the same exact effect that it does in Heroes, and Heroes weapons have pretty good effects. So, it grants +3 attack for 1 turn if the user has 50% HP or less at the start of the turn. Not a bad effect. We're mainly just going to grab it because we're the only sword unit, and it's a lot stronger than Liberation. Now, we still will want to use Liberation every now and again because we get a lot more speed out of it, but, I mean, come on, 4 extra damage? Why would you turn that down? You also saw that we had a lance there. We have Sharina's lance in Fencerlier, so we're going to want to use that. Inflicts -2 attack for 1 turn on adjacent foes, so yeah, why not? A unit that kind of struggles to secure kills, yeah, we'll debuff the foes. And then finally we have an axe. Yeah, no, I can't bring myself to do it. Here you go, Vander. You can have Noatun. This is Anna's signature axe. It grants +1 move when the user has 40% or less HP. Probably not going to happen for us because it's Vander. He's going to tank a lot of damage, but that's fine. So I believe we have finished our preps in that sense. Now we just got to move around our units to where we want to start them. I think for the most part we want to be moving... Do we want to move that direction? We could just move everybody north. There is a lot of enemies to kill here. That's a lot of EXP I'd be giving up, so we do want to move some people that way. We're going to want somebody... Let's see. How much move do you... You have 6 moves, so you're definitely going to be able to reach, obviously. Probably give the kill over to you. And then we'll move you... Do we want you going this way? No, not necessarily. I think we'll have Alir going up north. Put you there. You there. Where do we see flyers? There's a flyer up there, so I guess we'll send Etier north. Plan there. We're not going to need Etier immediately, so we'll move her out of the way. Yep, I think we're cool with this. Let's go ahead and save. Let's start the battle.
Alfred!
Celine? What are you doing here? I thought you were with Mother.
I was, but Alfred, the Elusian army is marching on the castle.
What? Why?
I cannot say. Before they arrived, Mother sent me to warn you. But then we were ambushed on our way to Flora Port. Louis and Chloe stayed behind so that I might have a chance to escape. Please, we must hurry back to them.
Absolutely.
Pardon me, Princess Celine, but do you have the emblem ring?
Yes, Mother gave it to me. Why do you... Goodness gracious! The Divine Dragon? You're here! You're awake!
I am.
May I say, it is truly an honor.
Not the time,
The
Celine.
emblem ring is right here. Please, Divine One, it is yours.
The words. They're coming to me. Care for us, Emblem of Echoes.
I am Emblem Celica. I detest violence, but I will always fight to defend the innocent.
Thank you for answering my call.
So, this is the emblem that was in Firene's ring.
Emblem Celica! How marvelous! Divine One, with your blessing, and hers of course, I would like to fight by Celica's side. I must protect the people of this village and ensure Louis and Chloe's safety.
I entrust this ring to you, Celine.
Alright, we now have 3 new members, which means more talking and not fighting. Yeah, I know.
I won't be able to get very far with these archers everywhere.
How about this? I take care of the archers and you deal with the magic users.
Good idea. While their spells will go right through your armor, I'm resistant to magic. So leave the mages to me. It's not so bad protecting each other, now is it?
Indeed. This is a nice change of pace.
Alright. So, let's get to the explaining. First things first. Celine. So, Celine is an interesting unit. She is a mixed attacker, which traditionally just doesn't work, and it's a little bit of the same here. Her growth rates are just not astonishing, we'll say that. That said, I think she makes it work. Not great, but she's a lot better than they've ever done it. I've used Celine multiple times, and I have never really had a bad result. Well, actually, I have, and it's when I moved her out of her main class, which is funny. But using her as her main class and keeping her this way, I think she's actually a pretty good unit, and I aim to prove it. I think I'd like to use Celine long term, and there's actually an experiment I'd like to do with her. Every other character that I'm going to use in this game long term, I am going to be doing something that I know will work, and I know will be strong, because I want to show that off. But we need a little bit of wonder in this, so I'm going to do something with her I've never done before, and we'll see if it works. But more on that later. Back to Celine as a character. Her growth rates, like I said, she has more strength than she has magic, so realistically, if you wanted to transition her into a physical attacker, you could. I mean, after all, warriors do give an additional 20 strength, so 55 growth rate and strength isn't the worst. But I also wouldn't describe it as the best. Like, you could just get a lot more bang for your buck out of some other characters when it comes to the warrior class. I like her in her main class, even though she has less of a magic growth rate than she has a physical one. And in fact, the noble class that she has right now tends to fix that a little bit by giving her a bonus 10. She ends up with a 35 growth rate, which isn't amazing, but her speed and res are good, and her luck is incredible, so she ends up dodging a lot more than she necessarily deserves. So taking a look at her personal skill, Gentle Flower. If a recovery item is used by allies within 2 spaces, you heal an additional 50%. I actually really like this. It's pretty nice just getting a random bonus out of nowhere. Especially when you're really struggling with HP. Now, mind you, it's not the best. It's definitely not the main character's personal skill. But it ain't bad either. I think that's realistically all we need to talk about. I recommend you try her out. I wasn't disappointed. You might be. I don't know. We'll see. Let's talk about her allies here. We have Louis, who is an armor knight. And what does that mean? Well, armor knights are sort of the definition of all of your eggs in one basket. Armor knights are good at one thing and one thing only. Physical defense. Louis has a base physical defense growth rate of 50, with an additional 30 tacked on from being an armor knight. 80 growth rate is incredible. Now, that doesn't mean that Louis is actually bad at other things. He actually has a pretty good strength growth rate. His dexterity is a little tragic, but really, what we're looking at here when it comes to weaknesses are speed and res. He's not getting anything from his class, so having a growth rate of 25 and 20 in those two things makes it his obvious weakness, especially when his base res is 1. So yes, he will be able to take pretty much whatever physical attack you throw at him, especially having 16 defense, probably the highest stat we've seen to this point, even when you're looking at Vander. But he will die to a little breeze from a mage. Being a lance unit, he's actually a pretty nice commodity, but the number one thing that armor units struggle with is that they have less move than everybody else. So yeah, right now he has 4 move and everybody else has 4 move, so what's the big deal? Well, if you promote him into a general, which is the armored path that you can take, he'll still have 4 move. So he's going to be moving a lot slower than everybody else. Right now, he's very worth using because he's just going to be as fast as everyone else is. But you'll see a turning point where, you know, maybe Louis isn't the best anymore. Admiration. When 2 female allies are adjacent within 2 spaces, this unit takes 2 less damage during combat. What the hell? I mean, this is so oddly specific. I mean, yeah, taking 2 less damage is great, but I mean, who cares? He already has an insane amount of defense, and to fulfill the requirements is just so awkward. You're pretty much going to be ignoring this for the most part. Louis is just about covering choke points and tanking physical attacks. That's what you want from him, and he's damn good at it. I'd say use him for a little while, and if you end up not liking him, drop him. But definitely don't let his early game physical defense go to waste. Next up, we have Chloe. Chloe is a flyer. And oh my god, flyers are amazing. I recommend you use one every single time you play a Fire Emblem game. I don't care if they start out with a low physical attack stat. Do not care whatsoever. Use these units. They are so good. So, as I was saying, not a great physical attack stat. She actually ends up with a bit of a higher magic stat, which is a little sad for her, but we can still make it work. 35, a 35 in her strength growth rate is not bad at all. Now, her res, she says that she has a good res growth rate, but it actually turns out that it's about as much as everybody else's. More so, the reason that it's good is that she starts with a high base. So I think what you'll notice, depending on what you promote her into, it'll actually fall off, and she's not going to be the res tank that you expect her to be. The main thing that you get from Chloe is the fact that she has a pretty good dexterity and a very good speed stat. And the fact that she can fly. I'm telling you, do not underestimate how useful it is to be able to cover ground that no other unit in the game can. She also comes equipped with a javelin, so regardless of whether you end up using this character or not, she is a good addition to the team, if not for just trading the javelin around. Her personal skill is Fairy Tale Folk. If a male ally and a female ally are adjacent within 2 spaces, you deal 2 more damage. Again, like, really? It's so specific that in order to activate this, it's just... you have to plan so much around it, but at least since you're dealing 2 more damage, which is something that she struggles with, it's at least worth considering. It might actually help you out of a sticky situation every now and again. Once again, definitely plan on using this character, and I hope you do too. Very worth it. But we're not done. We still have one more character we need to talk about. Yes, we have Emblem Celica. Wow, Celica in the original game is like the only unit that you can use on a mage. Hold on, she has a lot of stuff to scroll through. I need to get down here. Okay. So, without DLC, which yes, there is DLC and I will be covering it, Celica's really the only good emblem for mages, which is so sad because there are plenty more mages in this game that we're going to end up coming across. So the stats that she buffs are Strength, Magic, and Res. It definitely represents her since in her own game she uses both swords and magic. Makes sense why they wanted to put her on Celine. And Celine is a good recipient of Celica. Again, I said I'm going to be experimenting with her, so probably not going to be sticking around with Celica. But, as a character, pretty good. Her sync skills, Holy Stance. If a corrupted attack attacks this unit, it deals 10% of damage taken back to the foe. Now, as a mage, you're really not wanting to take a whole lot of hits, but since you will be fighting a lot of corrupted throughout this game, it actually is pretty damn good. Next up is Resonance, and this is the one we want to pay attention to. It's not going to sound good, but every little bit of damage that you can do, it counts. So, you expend HP to deal additional damage with the tome. At the start, this is just going to be, if you have 2 or more HP, you will lose 1 HP and you'll deal 2 extra damage. 2 extra damage is plenty. So we're definitely going to take that once we get access to it. It's very helpful. Again, doesn't seem like much, but we will learn to appreciate it. The last of her sync skills is Favorite Food. And initially, this is going to sound stupid, but I promise you, this has some very niche applications, and I will be making use of it in the future. Eating leftovers will max out the engage meter. What are leftovers? Something we can't even have. We can't even have yet. I'm sure you'll understand what that means once we actually run into it. But anything that says max out the engage meter is definitely going to have some sort of niche application. Next up, we have Echo as our engage skill. We can actively use this skill to attack with magic at 50% damage, and then use a then we can use it a second time to launch another 50% attack. So if you're wanting to split your damage across 2 different foes in the same turn, you can do this to weaken the foes. And if you're a mystical unit, such as Celine, then you get an additional 10% damage buff. And finally, we have the huge reason, the main reason you want to use this emblem. Warp Ragnarok. We can use this to warp up to 10 spaces and make a powerful magic attack. And if we're a mystic, we get an additional 20% damage. Holy crap. Just a 10 space self warp and you get to attack in the same turn. That is incredible. So, I feel like I've explained everything I need to explain on her already. I guess I can cover Seraphim really quick. It's a holy tome. You deal extra damage to the corrupted. Pretty good on this chapter. Not necessarily something we need to talk about all that much.
Emblem Celica, it is an honor. So it was your voice I heard on the way from the castle. I am glad you're here with me.
I feel the same, Celine. I will fight by your side from now on. Together, we will protect that which you hold dear.
Thank you.
I'm not going to
With
use it
Celica's
right now.
help, I ought to be able to reach Chloe and Louis more quickly.
Yes, exactly what I was going to talk about. I'm not going to use it right now, but let's engage and just show it off.
Please grant me your strength. I feel a great power within. We have united, haven't we? My resolve is strong. I will protect my people. I will protect everyone.
If we use Warp
I am
Ragnarok...
resolved to fight for peace.
Oh my god.
Hold on, you two. I am on my way.
We can just warp over here and just nuke somebody. Why is this allowed? I don't know. But, I mean, we definitely decided to make these characters crazy. I am not going to do that, and I'm not even going to engage this turn. All I want to do is I want to attack this guy and try to kill him. Okay.
Look at that house. The gate is wide open.
Yes, it is.
We'd better warn them to lock up so the corrupted don't get in.
Thanks for the info. Yes, I am fully aware of that, and I will cover it in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and have Clan come up here, and we are going to weaken this corrupted.
I serve the Divine Dragon!
We're going to kill this corrupted.
Did you see that?
Nice. So anyway, we're going to run up here, and we're going to weaken this corrupted. Okay. I don't want to crit him. Alright.
Power blooms in
And
me.
we're going to use Celine to come up here and secure the kill so we can start giving her some EXP. For Alfred's turn, we'll go ahead and visit this village. Or house, I guess.
What's that? Monsters here? Gosh, all, thanks for letting me know. Take this. Might come in useful.
We get a free item, and a javelin is a definite plus. So I think that's everyone we want to send that way. If anything, I might want to send more up here. Let's go ahead and get Boucheron up here so he can break that foe. Yeah, you'll be fine. We're going to run up here. And we will use Volkvanger to secure the kill. As I said, very nice addition.
I'll take this.
We also get the backup attack from Boucheron there, so that's pretty helpful. one of the few things that Boucheron can actually add to the team.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go ahead and move up Etier as well as Fram. We'll wait here. And that's not all. We also have these guys. We are in control of them. They aren't just random allies that do their own thing.
Understood.
I recommend that Louis just set up camp on this fort here. The fort is going to not only heal him every turn, it also makes him unbreakable, which he already was because he's an armored unit. And it gives him an additional 30 avoid, something that he's severely lacking. So just park him right here. It's going to make him a lot tankier and able to deal with all of these guys trying to break through. Whereas Chloe, as part of the deal mentioned earlier, needs to handle these mages. She's going to deal with it a lot better than Louis can.
A right and proper end.
I will say one of the best things that they do in this game is they have great combat animations. I mean, just the logistics of having Louis up on the tower like that whenever someone's shooting at him. So cool. I love that. Finally getting a double out of Vander. Not that we necessarily care. As you can see, Louis just not really caring too much about taking all this damage.
These houses are ripe for the picking. Time for a good old-fashioned village pillage.
The crystal. It's glowing.
Where did you get that?
It was in the ring vault. Vander found it after the battle at Lethos Castle. Why? Do you know what this is?
The Draconic Time Crystal. An artifact capable of reversing time itself. There is a limit to its power, but still, it could give us a keen advantage.
Time crystal, huh? So it's not just a pretty piece of jewelry.
Since we have it, I suggest we put it to use. Give it a try.
Alright, we now have the Draconic Time Crystal. This will allow us to move back time. If something happens, such as a unit dying or just a terrible move not going the way that we want it to, we'll be able to use the Time Crystal to fix it. Something you should know is that the Time Crystal has specific mechanics associated with it. So, let's take for example, if we attack this guy, and we have an 86% hit rate. If we miss, we use the Time Crystal and we immediately attack him again, the same RNG is going to be used, so we will just strictly miss again. What you will need to do is attack, and if you miss, rewind time, do something else on the map that is a little more secure, say this. We don't necessarily care if we hit, we just want to block the damage. That'll get the RNG out of the way, and then we can move back here and use... hold on. And use a Leer to actually attack this character. Another thing that you can use the Time Crystal for. I'm playing on fixed growth rates, so this isn't going to matter for me. But for those of you who want to get the most out of your units without having to reset the whole chapter, if you get a bad level up, and you're not playing on fixed growth rates, you're playing on random growth rates, you can back up time, change the RNG by doing something else on the map, and then do the exact same thing that you just did that caused you to level up, and it will re-randomize your level up. If you are severely hurting for stats and you want to make sure your character turns out well, I highly recommend you use that. I am the type of person that I like using everything that is available to me to my own advantage. A lot of people really hate the idea of the Time Crystal because they're old school Fire Emblem players. They like to play on Classic, so if a character dies, they're dead permanently. and they like to never use things like the time crystal, Milla's time wheel. What's another one? I can't remember off the top of my head. There's a few of them out there. Divine Pulse, I think it's called. Yeah. They don't like doing that. And my question for you is, would you rather screw up and have to go back a turn, or have to redo the entire map? To me, it just feels like it's a waste of time. So just use the time crystal. Like, it's really not a big deal. So we are going to want to play this a little differently. We're not quite killing that flyer. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack here first. We're already missing out on the double, so maybe we're going to use Liberation here. You end up with 11 versus 12. Do we want to engage? There is Emblem energy over there. Is there anyone we're going to need to rush? I don't think so. We'll go ahead and we'll engage. Actually,
Lend me your strength.
I don't even think we're going to have to use the Lodestar Rush because I didn't check what the Rapier does. Rapier, sorry. Yeah, it just finishes them off. Perfect. Great defense, and we just kill him.
I live to fight again.
Very nice. Got the hand axe. And now that we are standing next to ourselves, we get the bonus damage, and we can just finish him off.
I can still do more.
Perfect. We'll run right up here so we can heal up Boucheron. Not that he necessarily needs it, because he's not going to use much.
Thank you.
But we do get the EXP for doing so. And we'll end Boucheron on here. I believe there's a reinforcement that will appear out of this fort, so we definitely want to cover it. We don't really need to worry about this barbarian coming over here and destroying the village, because Louis is standing here and he's just going to block that from ever happening, especially with these guys on the way. Instead, what we care about more, you'll notice that we are taking a good bit of damage from this corrupted, so we don't want to engage that. Instead, we want to come down here and deal with this corrupted. Now, I did mention early on in the project that the iron sort of weapons, the sword, lance, axe, those are the weakest variety that we're going to have for a while. The Slim Lance is technically weaker, but what it accomplishes is that it's very light and, as it says, unusually accurate. So what it's doing for us is allowing a unit that doesn't have much build, like Chloe, to be able to double. Because the amount of speed that we would lose from an iron weapon, and especially when we start getting to heavier weapons, it gets quite hefty and troublesome very quickly. So we're going to come over here, let Celine finish the kill. By the way, I would not blame you whatsoever if you get Celine and Celica mixed up. I probably will multiple times before this project is done. They're just such close names, and they are meant to be very similar characters. I imagine I can't kill you. No, I can't. That is a shame. Because now we gotta risk possibly
For the Divine
critting.
Dragon.
Well, we only attack once, so it's less of a chance of a crit. Nice. Alright, perfect. Not to mention, since we are standing on the fort here, we will get that healing, which we are a bit in need of. Use Fencelir to finish you off.
Here goes.
Easy peasy.
What a workout.
I forgot about this because it's been a while. Get the canter from Sigurd. Go ahead and move down this way, get closer to the action. And Clan can move up this way. think... Oh, we still have Louis. I guess we could attack. I mean, our accuracy isn't wonderful here. We would get him really close to killing him. But I think we'll take the 100% hit rate instead. Nice. Absolutely nothing. Boy is taking a bit of damage, so we're going to want to be careful with that. I was a little quiet there because I was considering, is it time to start consulting the list? Because, I mean, I think we're just going to play through the turn. I could talk about what I'm doing here, but, I mean, what's the point, really? I guess, you know what, there is something we can do. Here's what we're going to do. Instead of having Celine deal with these guys, I think these three have it handled. We're going to engage.
Emblem, engage!
This is something special that we can talk about. We're going to use Warp Ragnarok. Let's blow up this flyer. Are we safe here? No, we're not. We're safe there, though. Say bye-bye.
My apologies.
I really like that animation. Very cool. Get magic +3, that's a pretty good one. Not that we can actually use it right now. So I'm pretty sure those bond skills that you've been seeing us getting, not all of them are automatically applied to us. Again, something that I can't cover yet because it's not available to us. But I've already been flooding you with information already, so it's understandable that they want to pace us. So I'll go ahead and use that, and because of Gentle Flower, it just pops us right back up to full. Let's go ahead and get some chip. Very nice. Then Vander, unfortunately you don't have a ranged attack. But that's fine, we'll just go ahead and pop it now. Here's what I was thinking. Let's engage!
Emblem, engage!
Now, I'm pretty sure the way that Sigurd works, I don't think that he's gonna let us just... Oh, he will! Alright, hold on. I wanna test the damage. So, if we override, we use Fencelir, it'll do 15 damage. If we do it like this... Oh wait, do we even have the skill yet? It doesn't look like we do. So no, it's not gonna change the damage because we don't even have it yet. We're gonna override here.
Raise your sword!
Again, very cool. I really like that one. And something else that I've noticed about Fire Emblem, and really helps me to point out, like, how do people think that this is a bad emblem? AoE attacks is few and far between. And this being one of them gives Sigurd so much utility. I really like Override. The only downside with Override, in my opinion, is that it puts you in danger because it will plop you out on the other side of the enemies. So I'm not actually going to... Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he won't be able to reach. I'm not going to attack this guy because I don't want to give the EXP over to Vander if at all possible. What I am going to do is I'm going to move him up and I'm going to end him on these yellow swirls. This is what online does for you. If you end your turn on yellow swirls, it'll give you EXP, SP, and or Bond. Since we don't have an Emblem Ring equipped, we can't get Bond. And your SP directly goes up with your EXP. Again, something you don't know what that does, but keep it in mind, it is a good thing when it goes up. If you end your turn on a purple swirl like this, it'll give you a free item. Because of a certain mechanic that will come later, you definitely want to get a fair amount of these, even though it's only going to be giving you what seems like garbage. Slim weapons, iron weapons, a bunch of junk you don't necessarily care about. You're never really going to get a really fancy weapon out of it. There is a use for those. You will want to pick up a few of them. Alright, so let's just go ahead and move our units forward here. We are going to take a lot of heat for that, but I think it might be fine. Yeah, honestly, I think so long as we stay here, we're fine. Especially since we are engaged. And we'll move up, and we'll also just chain guard for him. Make it even safer. You're not in range, so you can do that. And I said you want to get some of these, so I'll go ahead and heed my own instructions. Yeah, a vulnerary, again, like, we're not going to need as many vulneraries as we'll get from those. Again, we'll just go ahead and pop this guy one. Actually, we're going to put you in kill range. If we can. Nope, that's fine. One little miss isn't going to hurt us. That's enemy phase. So, while enemy phase is going, since I think we're going to have some time, let's consult the list, shall we? It's been a while. Which of these sounds most interesting? Oh, we got a little bit of HP from Etier there. Actually, I do want to mention something about the game really quick. I noticed that getting bad level ups, it's a lot harder to be mad when you're on fixed growth rates. Because when you're playing on random growth rates and you get a terrible level up, it's like, oh my god, should I rewind it? I mean, like, that's so bad. That's so unlucky. But when it's fixed, it's like, I mean, yeah, those are gonna happen. It's whatever. So in this particular situation, I just got an insane level up on Jake here.
We're losing ground, are we? Well, that's easily remedied.
Okay, yeah.
Release the corrupted!
More corrupted, I get it. Reinforcements. I just got an insane level up on Jake here. And now I'd be questioning, do I want to go back and rewind Etier's level up? Because then I'm going to lose the insane level up I got on Jake. So, instead of having to ask yourself that, with fixed growth rates, I know that the character is growing as they should, and they are going to reach certain benchmarks by a certain level. I was a huge opponent of fixed growth rates for a while, because I thought, that's what Fire Emblem's about, is having the random growths. No, I changed my mind. This is good. I like fixed growth rates. So long as you can have more ways to boost your character than just their growths, I like this. Okay, so let's see here. How do we want to handle this? Celine, how much damage do you do? We don't need to talk. We could echo, because technically we'll get 120% since we're Mystic. So let's go ahead and echo. We do a little bit more damage on Seraphim, so we'll do that. And then we immediately get to attack again. So we did slightly more damage than we would have because we were Mystic. if you are not Mystic and you're not getting that damage bonus, Echo really doesn't have a whole lot of usages. It's very niche. I found that I really don't use it that often. What are we attracting if we do that? He is a lance, but he's also armor, and I kind of just want to see if I can dodge and blow him up with the rapier. We don't have a guaranteed kill here, so since we're about to run out of Emblem energy, let's just Lodestar rush him. Get him out of here.
Fate has brought us here.
But yeah, let's see here. What's a good topic here? Something a little off topic. So I've been getting back into Minecraft, and as anybody with anybody who's played Minecraft may know, you pick it up, you play it for a while, you put it down, and then it's strange. You just get this allure to come back to it and play it again. And that's where I'm at. So I'm currently playing the 1.21.4. I don't remember what I want to say that that's it, but I don't remember for sure. The number doesn't matter. It's the one where they added this grayscale forest, and in that forest, if you, I don't know who all's familiar with this concept, especially. Have you seen Doctor Who? I haven't really. I've watched a couple episodes, didn't care for it. But they mimic the Weeping Angels, where they will only move if you're not looking at them. It's become a pretty common horror trope. A lot of different things do this. I know the Endos in Five Nights Security Breach.
Use this to bring peace to our land.
They do that. It's a common trope at this point. We're going to be zooming with Alfred here. Again, how can you look at this and say, bad Emblem? I don't get it. And then we'll grab these. Get vulnerary. I haven't interacted with that yet, because I haven't found one of the biomes that they spawn in. But it sounds interesting. They're completely invulnerable, from direct attacks, that is. You have to find the spawn point that they were born from and destroy it. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm more interested in what they added just the patch before. These little challenge rooms. They spawn like an insane amount of mobs on you, and I don't think they actually stop from lighting up the spawners. I think you legitimately have to fight them head on.
I live to fight again.
And if you win, they'll drop a key and you get special rewards. I think that's pretty cool. I like that mechanic. We are in a little bit of a pickle here. So maybe we're gonna pause that and talk about that more in a minute. We don't want Clan being in range of this, so I guess we'll just give him this. Why not? Bond fragments, that's another thing you get from those, and that's very worth it. Every little bit helps. If I remember correctly, yeah, you're just out of range of killing that. So what about backup attacks? Okay, we'll take some pretty good damage here, but if we manage to chip you, then Etier kills you, and even if we don't, you'll be able to backup attack next. Okay, so we missed, and we will take some damage here. Then Etier can walk up, and so long as Boosteron lands this backup attack, the chain attack, we will kill him.
Need some help?
Yep, there we go. Good stuff.
I'll have to up my weights.
Now, dealing with this guy is more what I was talking about as the issue. What I might end up doing... I don't think we're going to take much damage. We take 11, which is a bit of a shame. But... pretty much a 50-50 avoid rate, so we'll be fine. Go ahead and get the emblem energy. And then... are you out of range there? No, you're not. How about here? That presents a problem. We're gonna block you off with Louis. And now you'll be able to move here safely. We've been getting plenty of vulneraries, so I'll waste one just to get her chain guard back up. I actually think that you won't be able to kill... so you have 20 physical attack, minus my defense, which is 5. Yeah, you can't kill us, so I may as well move in range. Keep Seraphim active. I'll move you here as well, because I want you to possibly take care of him if you can. Do you have a... you're a sword unit, so no, you don't have a ranged weapon. That's a big downside of swords in most Fire Emblem games. Ranged is just pretty much out of the question for swords. And I think it's just Vander. Yeah, we don't care about Vander. Intern. But yeah, I've gotten back into Minecraft and I've been testing out the new patch. Of course, I have a few mods that make playing Minecraft just a little bit more convenient. It's nothing about, like... I remember way back in the day, there was this Feed the Beast mod. Nice crit.
If this love is a crime...
it added so much, I just didn't know what was going on. So I don't do shit like that. I add just quality of life mods. Stuff like where if you chop the bottom of the tree, the whole tree comes down. Normally I use Optifine for this, but since Optifine's not updated to the most current patch at the moment, I use something called dynamic lighting, which allows me to hold a torch in my offhand and just light the way that I'm if I'm walking in a cave. I don't actually have to put anything down. Stuff like that just makes stuff really convenient.
All in the name of peace.
So yeah, I haven't really been able to see much of the new patch, but I am really excited to try out those challenge rooms. I am going to go to the Nether and see if I can get my hands on some good stuff first. I don't want to just jump right in there. Iron armor and an iron sword. I do have a few diamonds, but...
hold steady!
With how few that I have, I feel like a diamond sword is a bit of a waste right now. I feel like the diamond axe will allow me to not only chop stuff, but also have a decent bit of damage. So it's just more worth it to use the axe.
That helps.
I do prefer swords when it comes to weaponry in Minecraft. I like being able to chop so quickly. Be able to just recover my attacks more often. But I get the argument for axes, and I do use them sometimes. Here. May as well get V moved up. You can have this emblem energy, and then the rest of them don't matter. So we'll go ahead and bait this mage, since supposedly we're supposed to be a magically defensive unit. I would try to stay in range of Alir's bonus, but instead we're just going to wait here and get the bond fragments. Wait there. Get you moved up, you can move up, you can move up. And you. I think the rest of you don't actually matter. It's just one of those things where I bet if I play it right, iron armor is plenty. but just knowing that I don't know what's coming, I want to be sure that I'm safe. So I'm going to get something like at least diamond equipment, and if I happen upon it, it's a bit of a grind, but if I happen upon it, then netherite would be cool. Probably not necessary, especially since netherite doesn't actually add as much as people may think it does. Can you one-shot? You can. Give you a little whack.
This is what I trained for.
And even though he is at advantage, I doubt you'll be able to kill me. 19. Let's call it an even 20, just in case you... Actually, hold on. 24, so possibly 25. I have defense, though, so we'll be fine. I can also move up and chain guard. So an even 20 to us definitely won't kill. So we're going to move up. I'm going to engage. We're not going to chain guard. We're just going to move up, engage, and have
Emblem,
the rapier
engage.
out. He'll probably use the javelin so he doesn't die, but that just means he dies next turn. Go ahead and heal up.
What a pick-me-up!
Very cool. I'll get Celine moved up there, but realistically, we're just gonna need a leader here. Oh, he's gonna go for the steel
Soon I'll be a
lance.
legend. The man who captured the Princess of Pyrenees.
Nice. We actually get to attack back. So, I haven't been doing comment questions of the day just because we've been a little busy, but I don't actually have anything in regards to this. So, I guess for those of you who play Minecraft, what are your thoughts on the new patch? Is it interesting? Why do you live on one? I guess Celine's up here for a reason. Whatever. What do you think of the new patch? Is the new mob interesting, or is it kind of worthless? What do you think of the challenge rooms? Are those cool? Just give me your thoughts. May as well go ahead and heal, get some more EXP.
Thank you.
Go. Move up, attack, fire, we'll finish the job.
I would have won, you know, if they'd given me real soldiers.
No Johns. Accept your loss. Resonance, nice. We're going to start doing some damage. So I'm going to continue the episode. Now that we have access to the Somnial, and we'll be moving back to it at in every episode after every chapter, I will go ahead and let the ending plot play out. We're not just going to be forced right into the next chapter, so it's cool.
There's no need to be afraid. It's gone.
You saved my life. Thank you.
It was nothing, really. I only did what anyone else would do.
Are you here by yourself?
I am. I saw the fighting and thought I could help.
You're braver than I am. I can't stand the corrupted. I was so startled I couldn't think. You really did save my life.
I see.
Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm the Divine Dragon.
What a lovely name. I'm Vale.
Vale.
Might I interrupt?
What is it?
Even with the corrupted gone, it may not be safe for her out here. Perhaps we should escort her home, or to an inn.
That's a good idea. Hey, Vale, do you live around here? Huh? She's gone.
Divine One!
Celine, did you see a girl pass this way? Small, with long hair? Barefoot?
No, I'm afraid I didn't see anyone matching that description.
Okay, thanks. Did you need something?
I wanted to thank you. Alfred told me that you accepted Firene's request for aid, and your help in the battle was the difference between victory and defeat. Thank you. Truly.
Don't mention it. Alfred and I are friends. I was happy to help.
Friends? He said that? Imagine speaking so casually with the Divine Dragon. Please, allow me to apologize on his behalf.
There's no need to put me on a pedestal. I just woke up, and the world is new to me. I make mistakes like anyone.
Is that so? I thought surely the Divine Dragon would be an all-seeing, all-powerful being. But here I find that you are rather more human than I expected. Perhaps we can be friends.
Then what do you say, Celine? Friends?
I would be honored.
All right, now we finally have access to animals, and I believe this chapter in particular has something for us that we definitely want. I think this, yeah, so what you'll notice here is that we can't adopt the chicken, and we need to donate in order to be able to adopt specific animals. But there is one type of animal in particular that we can adopt. And I'm pretty sure it's here. Please tell me I'm right. Yes! An Elosian dog. Just any dog whatsoever. Doesn't matter which one. If you find a dog, adopt it. And it's not just because I'm a dog lover. I do like dogs, yes. But holy crap, dogs are so good in this game. I promise you, you will not be upset for me for offering this advice. We can also get the sheep, and right now, that's not a hindrance, so we'll go ahead and adopt the sheep. We can also move up here. I missed one. Here it is. Get a rare fruit. Not bad. And then we move down here. I believe this should be an orange, considering where it is. Yep. And it looks like that's it. So we could run all the way to the edge, or we could just pop open the exploration menu and leave. So those bond fragments we just got. You're supposed to go around and talk to every single person and collect them bit by bit. If you decide to leave early, it will give you all the bond fragments from everyone that you miss, no matter what. So you are not missing out on anything. Just go ahead and leave if you don't want to talk to people. Yes. Bond fragments are important. I will talk about them when they're more important. Which hopefully will be this chapter.
Hey, folks. Mind if we bend your ear a minute? Name's Durden. I'm an armorer. And this here's Anis, purveyor of goods. We saw you trading thumps with those things. Figured you might be in the market for supplies.
Yes. If you need, we'd be happy to provide you with quality weapons and items. Anything to defeat those creatures. They pose a terrible threat to traveling merchants like us.
How would you feel about moving to our base? You can sell your wares from there.
Divine One?
What? We don't have any facilities. These two could be a good addition.
You're gonna let us open shops at your base?
If you'd like to. We'll need plenty of weapons and items from here on out. It's a haven. You won't find any creatures there.
You got yourself a bargain. Can't wait to do business together.
Thank you for this. I will do my utmost to ensure you receive the finest items.
And we received 10,000 gold of military funds from Vander. Thanks, Vander. Didn't know you were so loaded. Alright, we've made it to the world map. This is where we're going to be able to move around and select our chapters. We can also back up and go to the Somnial to manage our items and various other things. But that's going to have to wait till the next episode. This is where we're going to be ending our episodes pretty much from now on. So anyway, we'll handle that in the next one. See you then.